up, guys, and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And in today's video, we are actually going to be reviewing a series that I have to be honest with you, I really did enjoy. And yet this is a series that normally, because of all of the horror themes, all of the guts and gore, I'm just not into guts and gore, guys. You know, I'm into fun and cool action and stuff like that, but I'm really not into really gory things. I'm really not. I don't like it. I don't like to see guts and gore. You know? But I will admit this. While normally I would have absolutely no interest in a series like this because of that, a friend of mine who, by the way, yes, I'm talking about Sauerkraus. Go and check him out. He has a YouTube channel. Yes, my buddy Sauerkraus was telling me about this series called Chainsaw Man, of all things. And yeah, you can just tell chainsaw, if there's a chainsaw involved, it's obviously going to be guts and gore. And, I mean, I've seen Attack on Titan, and I really do enjoy the story of Attack on Titan, even though, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the whole guts and gore that goes on in Attack on Titan. And, yeah, Sour knows that I'm a fan of Attack on Titan, and he's been actually into this series for a lot longer than me, and was telling me, kept telling me I have to read it, and finally, he just gave me a link to where I could read it, and I just sat down and read it for him. I figured, okay, if I don't like it in the first couple of chapters, I can just tell him and close the book. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's actually quite a thrilling tale. Now, what is this story about? Now, granted, if you watch this video and you are interested in Chainsaw Man, I want to say this before you start. It's really gory. It's really gory because it's a chainsaw man, a guy with a chainsaw for a head, chopping people in half. It's pretty gory. A lot of deaths in this series. But I will say this, it's actually a really interesting and good story. So what is it about? It's about this boy named Denji, and he's a really poor boy. He's in poverty. He's just living his life, and it's really interesting because at first, you know, he's just trying to dream. He's trying to dream of a better life. He doesn't get to put jelly on toast. So one of his biggest dreams is just to put some jelly on toast. And he dreams of, you know, sleeping in a nice bed, and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because later on, I'm not going to spoil it, but later on, he does get those wishes to come true, only to find out that they actually caused him more pain, and only to find out that now that he has that, he wishes for more. He wishes for even better. He's truly starting to get a great dream, and that's really interesting because there's a lesson there. You know, you're always supposed to be happy with what you have, but at the same time, if you don't dream of something better and you don't go after that dream, then you don't improve. At the same time, when you have that dream, are you happy with what you have? Or do you dream of something bigger and bigger and bigger and constantly getting more and more and more? And eventually you gotta ask yourself, is that actually going to make you happy or not, you know? And that's actually a huge theme that I found within this book. That's one of like the deepest themes within the book. And you kinda gotta search for it, but it's there. On the surface, it's about this boy named Denji who had a best friend, a dog actually, who actually wasn't a dog. He was in fact a demon, or not a demon, a devil. My apologies. It's a devil, and it's a chainsaw devil. It's a little dog with literally a chainsaw for a muzzle. What can I say? What can I say? But yeah, he befriends this little devil creature that was hurt. He helped it out, and they became best friends. But then he and the devil creature were attacked, and he unfortunately died. The devil decided to um, uh, save him and give him the devil's own heart. Uh, um, and now, because of that, he becomes literally Chainsaw Man. Now, he does still have a human form and everything, but now he kind of has a superpower as well. If he pulls a little tail that's coming out of his chest, his head literally turns into a chainsaw. Yes, that's why the series is called Chainsaw Man. And as he goes on, his whole thing is to defeat destroyed devils. He's hired by a girl called Mikima, who Mikima is a really interesting character. I'm not going to reveal everything about her, but let me tell you, she's a really interesting character by the end of the show. And her whole thing is she's really interested in Denji. She's really interested in Denji, and the question is why? Why is she doing this? Why is she being so nice to Denji? You know, she's granting him his wishes. She's giving him a job. She's kind of flirting with him. Does she actually like him? It's actually really interesting what happens there and the reasons why. And I feel so bad for Denji too, and he gets kind of like a family as well. There's Aki, who is just another worker, just another devil hunter, and at first, I really didn't really care for this character, just like Denji. You know, this is from Denji's point of view, and I really didn't really care for this character. But as the story goes on, Aki really grows on you, and Aki and Denji become really like brothers. And then there's Power. Oh boy, Power is probably the best character of the show for me. I think she's one of the best. She's like my absolute fave in terms of all of the girls in the show. She is the absolute best. uh, yeah, but yeah, that's basically all I can say about Chainsaw Man. I don't want to get into spoilers or anything like that because I obviously read the manga and I obviously know the story now, and I'm really interested in the anime now. Yes, the anime, it is getting an anime adaptation. I'm not sure when the anime comes out, but you guys definitely, I would say if you're okay with gore and horror and maybe over 18, I say Chainsaw Man is actually a really interesting story, a really kind of sad story about a boy dreaming of a better life, and trust me, it's actually a really interesting story, especially because it's about a guy who turns into a chainsaw and kills devils. Well, what else? What else? I mean, in depth, it's about a boy dreaming for a better life, getting that dream and finding out that he wants more. But it's on the surface level about a guy turning into a chainsaw and killing devils for a living. It's actually really fun. It has some great characters. It has some great character development. Almost all of the characters that we meet uh, uh, um, actually has a kind of a big role to play in the story, even though they're not in the story for very long. They still have a lot to play within Denji's life. Everyone he meets plays a big role in Denji's life, both enemies and friends. So I think it's actually a very well written story. The manga itself, though, if you can't wait, if you have to go see this, go read the manga because the art is incredible in the manga. I really like how he draws the guy who writes it. I can't remember the name of the guy who writes it, but I really like how he draws Denji because everyone looks like they're a fully animated character, and then Denji always looks like he's half drawn, like he has never finished Denji, and that's just part of the art because it makes Denji stand out from the rest of the crowd. I really like how it is. Denji is, I would say, a very simplified image compared to the great background and the other great characters within in the series. Um, but there's a reason for it, and it goes back into his whole character. And as he grows, Denji actually does get more and more detailed, becoming more and more of a person. I've noticed that through the manga as well, which is really interesting. So yeah, the manga is actually really great. Really great. I highly recommend you guys go and read the manga. I highly recommend you guys go and watch the show. Again, gore. That's the only warning I can tell you. Gore, gore, gore. I am not for it. And might want to be 18 for some other things in it too. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Let me know your thoughts on Chainsaw Man. Bye.